Hi and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be looking at an introduction to Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens and focusing mainly on context. So I've put a suggested layout on the PowerPoint for you to copy down, focusing on the life of Charles Dickens, the novella itself. So again, very similar to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Of Mice and Men, which are all examples of novellas. They're too long to be short stories, too short to be novels. So the novella, which is in between. Victorian society, and why did Dickens write the novel or novella? So based on the information that I provide, you can actually write everything down in whichever column you believe it belongs to. So just to start off with, Dickens published A Christmas Carol in 1843, and he splits it into 5 chapters, which Dickens actually called staves. So you might wonder what stave is. Stave 1, stave 2, etc. So stave is a set of 5 horizontal lines and 4 spaces that each represent a different musical pitch. And in later videos we can talk a little bit more about staves, but I would like to just focus on the social and historical context of the novel. So what is A Christmas Carol about? It's obviously a very famous film as well that you might have seen as a child, and it tells you the story of Ebenezer Scrooge, an old miser who is visited by the ghost of his former business partner Jacob Marley and the ghost of Christmas past, present and yet to come. After their visits, Scrooge is transformed into a kinder, gentle man, but we need to understand why he changes from somebody quite horrible and isolated to a different person. We can also say that the text is a Bildungsroman. And basically, a Bildungsroman is a novel that focuses on a central character, and in this context, you can say it is Scrooge himself. But please don't call it the Bildungsroman novel, because within the word Bildungsroman, you have the word novel. So please be careful how you phrase that. So Victorian society, a difficult time period because a lot of Victorians were worried about the rising crime rate, and there were lots of offences that were taking place. It was about 5,000 per year in 1800 to about 20,000 per year in 1840. So crime was definitely on an increase. And in terms of prison life, prisoners were made to work hard and take part in difficult work or boring work. For example, walking a treadwheel and other forms of hard labour. Another term that you might have come across is about the poor law. So the poor law was the way that poor people were helped in 1815, and the law said that each parish had to look after its own poor. If you were unable to work, then you were given some money to help you survive. However, the cost of the poor law was increasing every year. By 1830 it cost about £7 million, and criticism of the law was mounting. So, of course, Dickens was aware of everything that was happening in society. So you might be wondering what inspired Dickens to actually write the novella. So Dickens wrote a report detailing the harsh and poor conditions in which women and children were made to work. They were made to work underground or in appalling conditions in factories, and Dickens said he was entirely stricken down, quote, by the report. And therefore you can say he focuses on his central protagonist, as said before, a miser, so someone who earns a lot of money but does not spend it on anyone, and that's exactly what Scrooge is. And then it links this idea in the novella of social injustice as well. It's a huge theme in the novella. It's this idea that situation where you have a situation which is very unfair, or you have unfair practices that are being carried out in society. Whatever unjust is happening, it might not be something that is considered to be moral practice. In terms of the population in England at the time A Christmas Carol was set, population had grown 64% between Dickens's birth in 1812 and the year of 1843. Workers were leaving the countryside to crowd into the new manufacturing centres and cities. So you've got to think about jobs, and you've got to think about employment as well here, and how people, workers in this case, were actually being treated. So employers thought of their workers as tools, basically. Okay, and treatment was quite harsh. So workers were becoming like commodities, they weren't treated as individual humans. They were just seen as resources as well. And it was children as well. Children were impacted, and they were asked to, work in factories or as chimney sweeps, and a lot of them died. And this worried and frustrated Dickens, which is why he focuses on different ideas and things that were happening in society during this time period. And it is really interesting to learn more about Dickens' life and, how he used to bring his novels and novellas to life, actually. And he used to go and travelled around America as well. And he used to read out his stories in a very theatrical way. So there is a lot you can learn about Dickens as well. And just to quickly finish off this PowerPoint, we've got to also focus on the different themes that are present in the Christmas Carol. So we've got the idea of Christmas, obviously the time period, the joy of Christmas, the importance of family, we've got compassion, redemption, and forgiveness. Context is really important if it's assessed in your exam board. I know it definitely is for certain ones such as AQA, but you don't want your essay to sound like a history essay. You are English literature students at the end of the day, so you need to make sure that all your contextual points are linked to the question, the essay question, linked to characters and linked to themes as well. So if we quickly do that now, we focus on the character of Scrooge. Knowing, the information that I've given you, what could you say are your, first impressions of Scrooge and why? What is Scrooge's attitude towards Christmas? And, you've got to try and find quotations to back this up. Why do you think Dickens spends so much time emphasizing Scrooge's isolation? What is the point of this? He does it deliberately, but why? Always remember to find quotations to back up your points. You can't just make points and leave them to dry. You need to make sure that you discuss them, discuss Scrooge's character, why he's so cold as well, quite calculated. Think about Scrooge's attitude towards others as well. Again, find quotations from the novella, and just make sure that you relate Scrooge to any of the historical issues that I have discussed with you today. Hope that video was helpful. The first one on A Christmas Carol. Please let me know if you would like me to create some more videos on this text, and comment down below. Great. Thank you very much, everyone.